It's time for the Best Mouse of 2025 awards. The hundreds of billions of dollars spent on research and development and marketing all comes down to this one video. I have 5 award categories to go through, and after these awards we'll have the best mouse of 2025 and a top 5. It was incredibly close this year, with almost every mouse I reviewed, excluding the usual suspects, having a chance to reach the top 5. And this video also includes a couple I didn't get time to review. So without further delay, let's begin. There will also be links in the description below if you wish to purchase any of these mice. The first award is thoroughly deserved in my opinion for several reasons. T-Evolution made an almost one-for-one lightweight version of the G703, resisting the urge to shrink it despite pressure from the baby hands lobbyists. But also they responded to my feedback immediately, which greatly enlarged my ego, by offering an additional set of plain mouse feet instead of their ribbed ones, which I assume is for your mousepad's pleasure. This G703 remake has fulfilled my hopes and dreams, except the one where I wish it had hair. The quality is just as good as the original despite the massive weight reduction, and it kept the most important feature of them all, the thick and juicy side buttons. Oh, look at those puppies. So T-Evolution win the best newcomer of 2025. The next award is one that I was unsure of actually including, as the winner isn't a mouse released this year. It's also because I genuinely expected this mouse to be average at best, but what I got was completely different. This is honestly a mouse that I think everyone should own as a spare backup, as it's incredibly affordable. At least it was when tariffs didn't exist. The vaxee R1 Pro shocked me with how good it is. The build quality is pretty much flawless, the main buttons and switches feel amazing to use even with my habit of applying quite a bit of unnecessary pressure to them. The coating as well, which is something a lot of cheap gaming mice suffer with, feels amazing. The quality of the mouse for the price you pay is exceptional. So the vaxee R1 Pro is the best budget mouse of 2025. There were a few contenders fighting over this next award. However, when I really thought about it, there was only going to be one winner. The OrbitalWorks Pathfinder is one of those products where you see the announcement for it and think, yeah, this ain't happening. But when I got the release or the beta version of this mouse, I was impressed. But I still thought it had a long way to go. So when the full release came along, I was blown away. OrbitalWorks have pulled off what I thought was impossible: a modular gaming mouse that you can fine-tune to your preferred shape. This is an enthusiast level niche product, but what makes this so good is the implementation of the modular components. This is really solid. Even when I try to make some abomination of a gaming mouse and use extra spacers, the mouse still feels completely playable. Not only that, you get a plethora of accessories as standard to make the shape and mouse of your dreams, including additional mouse feet. So the OrbitalWorks Pathfinder wins the most innovative design award. With cheap gaming mice raising the floor of quality and performance and closing the gap with the premium brands, it means that the bigger companies have to work harder to prove that you're getting the best for what you pay. Unfortunately, that doesn't always seem to be the case these days. However, I have to give credit where it's due to Razer and the DeathAdder V4 Pro. It's another banger from Razer that shows what a flagship premium gaming mouse should be. Much like the Viper V3 Pro, this is an upgrade over the previous DeathAdder release. A better coating, more stable sides, and a general polished feel overall. So they pretty much took most of the complaints of the V3 Pro and fixed them. The extra additions made to the dongle on this mouse is a big quality of life improvement. Being able to see battery life and signal strength is great, and I like the subtle lighting and orb design. The improved battery life on this thing is crazy and annoying. When I use other mice now, I seem to notice how often I'm charging them, because the battery life on this is just so good. There's a load of other improvements that, granted, the average person would hardly notice, but the fact that they could have just brought out an enhanced shape is something that I can appreciate. There is a few downsides to this though. I'm not a fan of the loud ticking sounding switches, and Synapse at this point is holding Razer back. Also, the obscene price. I can't afford it, but don't let me stop you from buying it. I'm not your dad, despite what any DNA test might say. If you do buy it, you'll be happy with it, that's for sure. So it's the best premium gaming mouse of 2025. Before we get to the best mouse of 2025, there is just one more award to go through, although this might be more of an honourable mention. I cannot get over how cool this RE or RCC1 looks. This mouse has so much attention to detail with its design, it's unreal. I'm not a fan of exclusive colorways, but I am a fan of stuff like this. It's a bit weird for me to use as it's a vastly different shape from what I'm used to, and I apply way too much pressure to the front of the mouse as a result, so it's not ideal for me, but it's still a great mouse worth getting. I really hope these guys make more mice with a unique design like this, because it is just incredible to look at. With most mice having the same shape just with lower humps or more inward curves, this just stands out a lot more, which is why it wins the Best Design Award. More of this, less limited edition colours. So now it's time. Not all of the mice I've just mentioned will be in the top 5, by the way, and this was also incredibly close. There's very, very little in between each mice this year. Also, this is just my opinion, so if you don't like my top 5, then fine. It's not the end of the world. In number 5 is the vaxee R1 Pro. This mouse impressed me so much that it had to make the top 5. For the price, it's unbeatable. The quality is what I'd expect to see from a mouse that costs double of this. I know there's the Mad R, which is lighter and has optical switches, but I think the mechanical switches on this R1 Pro is what makes this an incredible mouse. In number 4 is the OrbitalWorks Pathfinder, an incredibly niche product made for massive nerds with 3D printers. This is the mouse enthusiast's wet dream. With a very intuitive implementation of modular components, this mouse is effortless to customize, which encourages you to find the best shape possible. And number 3 is the Ninjutso 10. Apologies to Ninjutso for not reviewing this. I put it on a shelf whilst tidying and it got pushed to the back and I forgot about it. This is one of the highest quality mice I've used this year. It feels great to play with and even has the similar SPDT configuration that features on the OP1 8K for ultra low click latency. Overall, it's one of the best mice I've played with this year and it's well worth getting. But I'm not sure who thought this was a good dongle design. Luckily you can turn it off in the software. If you want a more thorough review, then I'd recommend signing up to our mailing list. There will be a link in the description below. I'll be writing additional content for products that I couldn't find time to review, or ones that did get lost in the back of the shelf. At number 2, the T-Evolution Terra is everything that I wanted from a G703 Superlight. I honestly can't think of any improvements that I would make to this. I obviously had some concerns when this was announced because who on earth is T-Evolution? It turns out they're geniuses because they took a rather popular old mouse shape, made it really light and just didn't f it up. Yeah, it's big and thick, but if you don't like it, I don't know. Grow? And number 1 is the vaxee NPO1S Ergo. When I first used it, I knew this was the best mouse of the year. When I play games, I have a tendency to fidget, and no matter how I'm holding this, it's comfortable. This is perfect for me and the quality is phenomenal. It has the nicest feeling buttons and switches I've used in a gaming mouse so far. It really feels like this mouse was hand-tuned before it was put into the box. It is just flawless. In my opinion, this is by far the best mouse of 2025.